Okay guys, so I'm actually going to show you the electrolysis of sodium chloride solution now. Now we need to be able to collect the gases that are produced at the electrode. So what I have here is the container full of sodium chloride solution. You can see there is still salt in the bottom of this. I've made it a strong solution, and what I need to do is be able to collect the gases that are produced off the electrodes. Now to do that I use a method called downward displacement. It's a little bit fiddly. I've already done the first test tube, but you fill the test tubes you want to collect the gases in to the top with the solution or the electrolyte. So this is the salty water sodium chloride solution. You put your finger over it to make sure there's no bubbles. You then have to put your finger under the surface of the electrolyte, take your finger off it, which will keep any bubbles out, and then put the test tube over the electrode. Now, any gases made by these two electrodes now will rise up the test tubes and they'll push the water down, and we will be able to test the gases that are produced. Now, if Mr. Lark just looks at the electrodes, you can see that this electrode is the positive. Positive is connected to the red terminal on the power supply. This electrode is the negative, which is connected to the black terminal on the power supply. Okay, so any gases that are produced at the cathode or the negative will be collected in this test tube. Any gases that are produced at the anode will be collected in this test tube. Now this takes probably about 15-20 minutes or so to actually fill the test tube, so I'm going to turn the power pack on now so you can see the gases being produced, but then we will come back to this later. So I've turned the power pack on. It's DC for electrolysis. I'm going to turn it up to 3 volts, because if you tend to turn the voltage too high, the electrodes can actually degrade. Now you can see already that at the negative terminal, the black one, there's a number of bubbles being produced on the surface of the electrode, and they're rising to the top. And you can see that there are bubbles starting to be produced on the anode or the positive terminal, not quite as quickly at the moment, but they are rising to the top as well. And hopefully, I'll just turn it on one tiny bit more to make it a little bit faster just initially. And you should be able to see bubbles of gas collecting above the cathode now, the negative terminal, and you should be able to see the bubbles rising here, but not quite there. It's starting to collect now and become visible. So we're going to leave this for about 20 minutes now to make sure I've got sufficient gas collected in these two test tubes to be able to test the gases produced.